Hi everybody, it's Traci from Downward Dog Rising. I'm going to give you a yoga conditioning workout tonight. So if you feel like doing a little workout, join me. Let's begin. We're going to start off on all fours and we're going to strengthen our core. Hands and knees, quadruped position, table position. If you want, you could cross your ankles to protect the knee joints a little extra. And I want you to tighten your abdominals in. We're going to start by drawing your elbows straight back towards our ribs. I want you to fold your elbows and then press straight back up again. So we're just going to do some tricep presses, little push-ups here. There you go. Breathing in. Exhale. Shoulders away from ears. 8, 7. Really hug your elbows tight. 6, 5, tighten core. 4, 3 more. 2 more, tighten abdominals in. 1 more time. All right. Now, curl toes under. Your abdominal wall just lifts into your spine. Now take it into a plank. Your legs are going to reach long. You're in your plank. Walk it out. Hold it here. Tap, tap. Lengthen tailbone away from your breastbone. Tap, tap. Work those shoulders. Work your core. Your glutes are working. Your whole body's working. Your obliques. Bring out the wet towel, sides of waist. 6 and 5. 4 more. And 3. Core is strong. 2 more. Last one. Good job. Come to hands and knees. Now we're going to go into cat-cow. Inhale. Stretch head away from tailbone. Exhale. Tighten your core to your spine. Stretch in opposition. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Scoop your core tight to your spine. 3 more. Getting our spine to lengthen. Extension and flexion. 1 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Now imagine listening to your shoulder. Your your ear comes closer to your shoulder. Now think of side bend, lateral flexion. Shoulder and hip come closer on one side. So you can feel your obliques, intercostal stretch on the other side. Side of ribs pull apart. Your intercostals are between ribs. Inhale back to the middle. Now to the other side. Shoulder and hip pull together. Inhale back to the center. Allow your shoulder and your hip to pull close together. Breathing in, side bend, lateral flexion. 2 more. Stretch to one side. Come back to the center. Stretch to the side. Come back to the center. Last one. Stretch to the side. Come back. Last one. Stretch to the side and come back in. Okay, we're going to go wider with our push-up this time. Hands are going to go wider so you get more into your pectoral muscles in your chest. Okay, if you want, you can go into a full push-up with your legs straight, or you can stay on your knees. It's up to you. So you're going to inhale. Oh my goodness, I don't want to do it all the way. Nope, I'm not. I had my COVID booster tonight, and I'm not going to push it. So we're just going wider to get into the pecs. Tighten core to spine. Keep your spine reaching long. Core deepens to spine. Head away from tailbone. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. On the last one, you could either have the tops of your feet rest underneath you on the mat, or you could curl toes under so you have something to stand on for more knee support. Let's go into Balasana, rest pose. So I want you to pull your breastbone forward and through as you reach your sits bones behind you. Back of pelvis pulls towards mat as you pull your breastbone forward and through the two arms. Breathing in. Exhale. We want oppositional lengthening. Energy travels up the spine to top of head. Energy flows down the spine to tailbone. Ida and Pingala, flow of energy. Yin and yang. One more deep inhale. All right. Now from here, we're going to come all the way down to our mat. What I want you to do next, you're going to take your forearms onto your mat. Your hip points press into the mat. And then basically, we're going to curl our toes under so we have something to step on, something to stand on. And we're going to do dolphin. I want you to pull your shoulder blades straight down, sides of back, shoulders out of ears. And I want you to elevate up, look towards knees. Now think of your shoulder blades pulling straight down, sides of back as each side of your rib cage wrap to the center. Work your obliques. So you're going to inhale as you elongate your spine. Exhale, look at your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop core tight. Breathing in. Exhale. Sides of neck are long. Breathing in. Exhale. And 6. Shoulder blades reach down back. 5. 4 more. Shoulders out of ears. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Slowly come down. Now go into sphinx. Elbows are bent. I'm going to turn around. Okay. Tops of feet rest in mat. And you're going to take your elbows. Elbow goes right under your shoulder. Okay, careful not to sink or hike. Shoulders up. Sides and neck stretch. Tops of feet rest in mat. And I want you to feel like your breastbone, your sternum pulls forward. Soften the jaw, soften your mouth. Sides and neck are long. Stay here and breathe. Collarbones wide, shoulders away from ears. You can either stay here in Sphinx or you can go into Seal. So from Sphinx, extend the arms out a little bit and just lift up a little. Relax shoulders away from ears. Utilize your lower abdominals. Draw the sides, the 2 hip points, pull straight to the center. Go lower than that, lower abdominals. And then you want to feel how the front of the ribs pull together, drawing down and together in front. Core is deep into spine. Pubic bone, hip points down into mat. Let those blades pull straight down, sides of back. Strengthening our spine. Being careful not to compress the low back either. You want to keep space without feeling like you're making it tight in there. Openness. Slowly, we're going to come back down now. Okay, we're going to stretch our shoulders. We're going to release our back. 90-degree angle. Your right elbow is going to go to the side of your right shoulder. And then you're going to actually take the left hand in a straight line under your left shoulder. I'm going to have you lift up your foot, relax side of head and neck into your mat, and you're just going to stay here and breathe. So you're gently pressing. I want to go deeper. I want to face you. I turn the wrong way because I'm trying to face the camera. That's what you call being dyslexic in your body rather than in your mind. It's like in your body. So what I want you to do, when I have the right arm bent in a 90-degree angle and the left palm under the shoulder, we actually turn so that right 90-degree angle is underneath us. That's why it didn't feel like any stretching. I'm like, this is too easy. You're going to feel an intense stretch under your armpit and the top of your ribs where your serratus muscle is, and into your shoulder, into your pectoral minor. You'll feel going into the shoulder, into the delt, to that medial delt, anterior delt. Think of your scapula, your shoulder blade, just melting away from the center of your spine, falling into your yoga mat. And then this collarbone here is opening as well, as that palm presses into the floor. And then you're getting a nice stretch here through the front of your hip, into your quad. Breathe into the sides of your rib cage. If you have any scoliosis in your back, when you really expand into your ribs, you can get some of your muscles to stretch apart and create some space where some of the curves might be. So keep breathing into those ribs. Full rib cage expansion. And you'll feel those muscles under the armpit, upper ribs that are underneath you really stretch as well. Side of neck and that bottom shoulder. One more deep inhale here. Good job. Okay, now turn back center, press to hands and knees. Take it back into another rest pose, Balasana. Sit straight back, hips over heels. You could sit on your feet if you prefer, or keep toes curled under. You could stretch through fingertips if you like. Feel a stretch across upper middle back, across the scapula, across your shoulder blades. Pull your sternum, breastbone forward and through. Sink, drop down those sits bones behind you so that you could feel the low back area, this lumbodorsal fascia, open apart. And just breathe, let it flow, let the breath flow. Take 2 more deep inhales here. Staying where you are. Deep inhale, deep exhale. In your rest pose. And last inhale here. And slowly we're going to make our way back down to the mat. So we could stretch out our other shoulder. So this time, you could still face the same way that you were. Just bend your left arm 90-degree angle with your shoulder. Then you're going to take the right hand straight under your shoulder. And then you're going to take that right foot, slowly twist. Now feel the side of your neck stretch. You're going to feel the front of your hip, thigh stretch. Bottom ribs, bottom shoulder. And just stay here and really expand into the sides of your rib cage. We want to do either deep diaphragmatic breathing, our true respiratory muscles, or diaphragm. And so we want to utilize deep inhale so we get the oxygen into the lower lobes of our lungs. We don't want to do shallow chest breathing and use all the accessory breathing muscles of our shoulders and neck. So we don't want to get all tight up here. Using our true respiratory muscle, the diaphragm, is much more efficient getting the oxygen into your lungs. If you're more comfortable with breathing into your belly, you can try that. I personally like the rib cage breathing. Breathing in, feel those ribs expand. You're going to feel side of neck. If you need a little pillow under your head, you could do that if you were tight, really tight. And last deep inhale here. Excellent. Slowly unwind. Come center. Take a second. You're going to relax your forehead on the backs of your hands and just nod head side to side. Just a little release. Slowly bring head center. Take your hands directly underneath you. Now you're going to slowly push back up. Now I'm going to have you just walk your feet. If you could cross your ankles and just sit back over your heels, go for it. My knee doesn't let me do that yet, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to bring my feet forward and through like that. Certain angles, my knee just does not like, so I avoid. We're going to come down to our mat now. And what I want you to do here, your arms are just going to be straight in line above your shoulder socket, straight line here. Extend the arms down long. Your feet are hip distance apart. I want you to feel the abdominal wall. I want you to think of the abdominal wall doming through the body three-dimensionally to go into the anterior spine, the front of your spine. The back of our spine is posterior, we're laying on it, so reach from front body to back body to the anterior of your spine. Feel the abdominals doming into the anterior of the spine. They're pulling down and in. Lift up your pelvis. Now here, I want you to feel how your gluteals turn on. Your knees are centered over second toes because we don't want to lose control. We want our knees to stay narrow. Not too far out. You're pressing hips to sky. And stay right there and breathe. I'll be right back. I thought I was on a different account that doesn't have commercials. Let me see if I can switch so I can get rid of commercials. All right, I think I did it. Let's see, did I do it? Yep. So there's no commercials on this one. Okay. Because I'm subscribed and I have an account. So that's why there's no commercials. Okay. So you're in your bridge. Basically, I want you to really engage your gluteals. And then I want you to feel how this low part of the back is stretching long. I don't want to have any arc or arch in there. And then basically I want you to press your hips to sky. And then I want you to feel when your hip bones press to sky, your abdominal tone turns on more and that dome pulls into the spine. You could actually feel your abdominals kick in more. Hips to sky, feel elongation through the front of those legs. With wide open across chest, stay here. Press into all four corners of your feet. Press hips to sky, gluteals engaged. Want those ribs to connect down together in front. Float arms up. Reach behind Slowly bring hands, start to pull ribs closer together. Now peel down, vertebra by vertebra, vertebra by vertebra. All the way to the tailbone. Good job. Hug your knees in. Gonna release your low back. Maybe rock side to side. That feels good on your body. If it doesn't, just stay centered. Here, I'm going to have you extend your legs into the air. Reach to the outsides of your feet, pinky toe lateral edge. We're going to do a Balasana hip release. You're going to have a line from your knee to your ankle, so your shin is parallel. And you're going to slowly allow your knees to drop towards your mat. Stay here and breathe. I want you to think of your two hip bones drawing closer together in front as you feel the back of your pelvis widen into the mat below you. This is a great hip opener, low back release. Softly release into it. One more deep inhale here. Now from here, just gently take feet together. Do point flex with your ankles. Release your ankles. And then what I want you to do here, your knees are going to come into tabletop, 90-degree angle. And then I want you to tighten two hip points together. See how close you can bring your feet towards the mat without doing that. That's arching. Avoid that. Low back elongates into mat. So feel the lower abdominals kick in. See if you can tap your feet to the mat. Come back up again without letting your back come up. Maybe go halfway if you feel your back lifting. Maybe just go halfway. 7. So you're going to keep resisting. Pull those abdominals in. 6. 5. And 4. 3. Keep wide across collarbones in front. 2 more. On the last one, take your heels into a V. I want you to feel how your inner thighs twist and wrap into the outer thighs, into the sides of your gluteals here, and your glute meats wrapping horizontally over glutes. Then what I want you to do, take hands behind head and neck. We're not going to flex and do a crunch and shorten and compress our back together. What I want you to do is lengthen top of head away from your tailbone, and basically you're going to pull those abdominals really deep, dome them into your low back, and elongate head, float head up as abdominals pull into your back like a teeter-totter. Exhale. Inhale. Your heels are going to go into a V. Exhale. Inhale. So really feel the abdominals doing the work. Keep your elbows wide apart. Exhale. Keep the length. Exhale. Keep the length. 5. 4. Those ribs pull together in front. 3. 2 more. Now come halfway down. Blades. Both of your shoulder blades are touching the mat. Extend. Exhale, pull the knees back in. Blades are down on mat. Ribs wrap. You're going to feel your abdominals shaking. Exhale. And then exhale. Keep wrapping inner thighs to outer thighs. Exhale. Keep those elbows far and wide. 6 more. Knit those ribs together. 5, 4, 3 more. 2 more. Back is on mat. Last one. Good job. Take one leg straight towards you as the other leg extends into your mat. Bend and press several times. 4 more. 3 more. This leg could be bent to keep back on mat. You could straighten it all the way out. 2 more. Last one. Switch. This leg comes down. And the other leg is going to extend. Pull knee in. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. Getting the back of the thigh, back of the knee to stretch. Popliteus muscle on the back of the knee. Getting into those hamstrings. 2 more. And last one. Good job. So now from here, extend. Reach arms overhead. And we're going to go into a banana asana. Cross right ankle over left ankle. Grab right wrist. Slowly stretch off to the left until you feel the whole right side open up. If your shoulders hunch, bend elbows. Feel the whole right side of your spine stretch. Keep your hip points directly straight above you to the ceiling without twisting pelvis off mat. Open up your whole side, create lengthened spine. One more deep inhale and gently release. Come back center. Extend arms overhead, extend legs out. Take your left ankle, cross over the right. Now your right hand is going to reach and grab the left wrist. You're going to slowly pull now to the right side. Feel the whole left side elongate. Hip points still face up to sky. Soften elbows if your shoulders get tight. Feel left side of spine lengthen. Feel that quadratus lumborum muscle on the side of your spine and your low back. Feel that start to lengthen as well. One more deep inhale. And gently exhale. Come back center. Fold both knees in. I'm going to have you draw the knees towards you. Abdominals tighten in. If you need help to come up, press those elbows as you lift or curl up, coming all the way up. So now we're going to take our legs straight out in front. And what I want you to do here, press your palms away from you. Ribs connect. Chest opens. Imagine a string lifting your sternum straight up. Now you're going to engage gluteals, engage your core. Come up into your reverse plank. Hold it here. Really lift pelvis up. Collarbones wide, neck is long. Breathe. Engage gluteals, lift pelvis to sky. Gently release back down. Good job. All right, next exercise I'm going to have you do. We're going to go into a swan. From swan, take it into your plank. Front ribs meet back ribs. So you're not up too high. You don't drop pelvis low. Really connect. Pull the abdominals. Drop your tailbone so you create length in your back. Take right knee to right thumb, and you're going to take this back leg. You can come together closer with your hands, closer to the body. Now aim both of those hip bones straight in front of you. Come back down, make sure you're aligned. Take top of foot, rest it on mat. Now, we want this back knee facing down. And we're going to stretch to top of head. You're going to breathe in, breathe out. And if it's within your practice, you can come a little lower down on your forearms. You could even go a little deeper. You can use one of these. You can use a block if you like. I'm going to use one tonight. I'm like getting hot and my muscles are starting to cramp up on me. I don't know if it's from the vaccine I got today, but I guess I'll find out later. So, your hip bone faces down, kneecap faces down, and you can take your forehead on a block if that's comfortable for you. We're going to feel our lateral hip stretch, piriformis on that right side, and our psoas and quad on this side. Keep lengthening your spine. Just trying to get our hips to release. And that will also help with your low back if you ever get a tight low back. Tight glutes can also really tighten up your back on you too. Just let the tension melt out with each breath. Layers of tissue. Exhale any tension out of layers of tissue with each breath. Really get those glutes to release in the lateral hip and glute. One more deep inhale. And slowly take hands under shoulders. Gently going to press up to a seated position. I'm going to have you lean onto your right gluteal. Swing your left leg forward. Now from here, what I want you to do, take the bottom of your left foot onto your mat. When you have tight hips, sometimes it's hard to stay grounded in the bottom of your pelvis. So think of each one of your sits bones underneath you. I tend to roll off to one side a little, so I'm a perfect example of working on keeping each half of your pelvis equally balanced on your mat. When muscles get tight, they get really tight and condense in together. We want to elongate, loosen them up, we want to decompress our joints so there's not a lot of pressure and tension building up in them. Now, I want you to flex the one foot to give space to your ankle and the knee. And then I want you to rise up the spinal column to the top of your head. Try to balance the weight into the bottom of your pelvis. And we're just going to turn towards our bent knee. You could wrap your arm around it if you like. I want you to keep collarbones open. And you're lengthening up all the way. Gently press arm into ground. If you want, you could also lift your hand like that, resting on the knee. And you can use your elbow to get a little deeper into the twist as long as it's right for your body. Sometimes we can get so tight in these ribs over here. This is great for spinal, thoracic spine mobility. Breathing, expanding into the lower lobes of the lungs. Breathe into your ribs. One more deep inhale here. Slowly rise up. We're going to take this leg, extend our legs in front. Next, I want you to bend your knees in. Fingertips turn outward, spread fingers wide. Unweight your shoulders. We don't want to sink. Think of connection. Open through here. Press palms away. Lift pelvis up. Inner thighs draw it together. And just press hips to sky. Reverse table. Press hips to sky. Feel all four corners of your feet press into your mat. Woo! Getting a cramp. Feel gluteals turn on, so backs of thighs avoid getting a cramp. Breathing in, breathing out. Ooh, it's coming back. Hips to sky. And slowly we're going to make our way back down. If you can, cross one ankle over the other. Shift completely forward. Come onto your knees, bring your feet behind you. Again, my one knee does not let me do that. It would look like this. I have to help myself. There we go. I tore my meniscus, so certain motions are weird for me, so I avoid them. So we're gonna do Swan on our other side. We're gonna come into our plank. Extend legs long. Now I want you to feel the dome of the abdominals drawing into the anterior spine. I want you to stretch your legs long behind you. Feel the length and hold your plank. Then we're going to fold our left knee towards the left thumb as we keep our right leg reaching long. So we're going to walk the left knee. If you need to come closer, we want our right hip to pull forward as left hip pulls back. Then you're going to take that foot, rest it on the mat. So ideally, this hip, my foot's cramping. That's why I said foot instead of hip. The foot's cramping, the knee, oh my goodness, everything's cramping all down the chain. So your hip is forward. The kneecap faces straight to mat. Now my toes are cramping. Lovely. Breathing in. I think I'm going to drink lots of water tonight. Exhale, release. Breathing in. I'm looking for my yoga block. Ideally, your two hip points face straight in front of you. Lengthening up. You could stay right here if you like, or you could take it deeper. You can come down to your forearms. Pull your sternum forward and through. Chest is open. If you want to take it deeper, you can fold your arms, rest your forehead on backs of hands. I'm starting to really heat up. I think that vaccination's hitting me. Whew. So I'm going to have you bring your forehead to your block if you have one, or on the backs of your hands. And you're going to stay here. Let the tension release out of your glute and hip. A super tight piriformis isn't good for any of us. If your hamstrings burn after running, or you run hills and you get pain across the side of your gluteals, chances are you could have really tight piriformis. It could lead into other things. Just let the tension melt. You're going to feel the front of this quad or hip flexor lengthening as well. You want that low back fascia across here to release too. One more deep inhale. And slowly bring hands closer. Gently press up. We're going to start to lean into our left glute as we swing the right leg forward. And then what I want you to do is bend the right knee. I'm actually going to move the left foot forward a little bit, as my knees won't be able to take too much of a bend, so I want you to feel comfortable, like you're not forcing your body to do something it doesn't want to do. This is where I want you to feel where you can ground into the bottom of your pelvis. Take a moment. Bottom of right foot comes to the mat. Sink down into the bottom of your pelvis. And then I'm going to ask you to bring your palms facing one another. Arms in line, shoulder width apart. Rising up through the spinal column as you sink down into the bottom of your pelvis. I want you to get those two energy flows, and you'll start to feel how your sits bones even out more, so you're not leaning. Then what I want you to do, you're going to slowly bring one arm down. You could either have your hand taking a hold of your leg as you wrap, rise up to top of head, or you could rest your elbow and use that elbow to get a little greater rotation to really get those ribs to open up. So think of rising up, stretch upwards, and then you bring that arm down. I tend to get really tight through those ribs. And just breathe through that tightness. Just breathing in, breathing out. Rising up to top of head, breathing in and breathing out. Get those intercostals, those muscles in between your ribs. We want to use our diaphragm. We don't want to overuse our sternocleidomastoid muscle in our neck. We don't want to overuse these muscles across here when we breathe. You'll even feel more of a stretch through sides of hips. You could modify this by having one leg out straight and just having your foot like that as well. If you don't want to stretch as deep into your hips, do it this way. One more deep inhale here. Feel the sternum lengthen as collarbone opens wide. Let your shoulder blade melt off the center of your thoracic spine and your back. Spaciousness will decompress you. One more deep inhale here. And slowly we're going to untwist, shake out those knees a little bit. And then we're just going to do a tiny little back bend. Inhale, lean back a little bit, lift breastbone to sky, and gently release. We're going to take arms straight up, flex the feet for caterpillar, hinge from hip joints, from the crease of your hips, lift up your breastbone, grab the lateral pinky toe sides of your feet, and stretch over both legs. This is also going to stretch and lengthen your hamstrings, backs of thighs. If you flex your feet, you'll go deeper into the muscular tendinous junction where that hamstring goes right into your glute. Pull your breastbone forward and through. Create length without bending from your spine. Hip hinge. Keep lengthening, head away from tailbone. Think of the abdominal wall doming anteriorly through the spine. As the back of the spine opens, think of mula bandha, or root lock. From the perineum, the bottom of the pelvis, all the way up to the navel. A root lock. Core draws in, doming into the front of the spine. Stay here and breathe. Feeling grounded, centered. Sink into your sits bones as they reach behind you into the mat so you feel your low back open apart. Pull head away from tailbone. Release as your body allows. Pull sternum, breastbone forward and through so you don't round into the center of your spine. Keep lengthening. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. One more deep inhale here. And slowly we're going to come up. All right. I'm going to have you bring the soles of your feet together. You're going to have space between the soles of your feet and your groin. Think of your thighs rotating to sky. That way you get a little bit more lateral rotation. Lengthening up. Think of your knees floating in water. And we're going to hip hinge forward, doing a little butterfly. Lengthen. Keep spine reaching long. If you want, you can use a yoga block. As you hip hinge forward, you could could make double fists, resting your forehead on your hands. You could rest your forehead on a block. You could take your forearms on a block. You could be rested on the mat if your body goes there. Do what feels right for your body. I've been running my whole life, so it really causes your hips to get tight. You gotta keep stretching the hips out when you run, so important. Rooting down into the bottom of your pelvis, stretch up through top of head. One more deep inhale here. Slowly you're going to make our way up. We're going to do that lying down on our back. So we're going to go into a little reclined butterfly. Take your knees together first. Then just gently windshield wiper your legs side to side for a moment. And then we're going to take it down to our mat lying down. So we're just going to bring the soles of our feet together for our reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet are going to come together. Legs butterfly out. Cactus your arms by your sides. Relax those shoulders. And just stay here and breathe. Gravity is going to gently be pressing into that crease right there to the front of your hips and thighs. So your psoas is not actively working right now. It's not. Gets a chance to release. Let chest open. From here, I want you to just gently allow your legs to stretch long into your mat. And now we're just going to go into our Savasana or corpse pose. So I'm going to have you extend the legs, relax them, they can fall sideways, extend the arms, and just allow your body to fully relax. No tension whatsoever. We're just going to stay here and ground ourselves in center for a moment. And just absorb the work that you just did right here in the present moment. So your tissues can absorb the benefit. Just have presence of mind and awareness. Mind, body, going inward, connecting you to universe, universal energy, rebalancing, peace and serenity. energized from within to without. Just plugging in our battery. Recharge. Imagine bright light all around your body, encapsulating your body with warmth and healing energy. You're protected. We're going to start to wiggle our feet, wiggle our toes, our fingers, coming back into the physical body, having that awareness and presence of mind into our physical reality. And just take a moment, stretch arms overhead, lengthen your spine. Now we're going to slowly turn onto our side, letting our blood pressure come into equilibrium. Trying to say the word calibrate. All right, I'm splicing, mixing words together. Calibrate. Press into your palm. Press into a seated position. And we're going to end our practice now. Easy pose. Sukhasana. Take an inhalation here. Bring your palms together to your heart. Feeling grateful. Feeling at peace. And feeling thankful for this practice today. The light within me honors and acknowledges the light within you. I thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please hit like or share or subscribe to help me grow my channel. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Peace, everybody. Take care. Bye. Peace.